Hello there. So it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while since I've been out for a walk with you. So I thought I'd take this opportunity. We certainly are living in interesting times, there's no question about that. And what with, it's been going on for more than a year now, hasn't it? A magnificent oak tree which has yet to come into leaf. So yes, this has been going on for more than a year. And I just wanted to take an opportunity in nature to reflect and to mention a few things to you. So first of all, looking at the astrology, we have at the moment the Sun and Venus and Chiron in Aries, and we also have another couple of asteroid goddess beings which are called Black Moon, Lilith and Eris. So that's 5. On the Monday we get Mercury, the communication planet, going into Aries. Will be 6. So at the moment what's going on for a lot of us is, after all that we've been through, it's time now to actually consider yourself, for us to consider ourselves in the light of everything that's happened, in the light of the barrage of propaganda on all sides. How do you feel about what's going on? And what are you going to do about it? And what matters to you? What's important to you? These are the kind of questions you want to be asking yourself. And at the moment I can tell you something that's important to me. What's important to me is it's spring here in this temperate part of the world, and these are very young hawthorn leaves. So one of the things I know that you do in spring, because we are in spring now, is you choose the leaves that are safe to eat. So these contain tannins, but the important thing is I'm putting the energy of this wonderful tree into my body. I'm adding to my microbiome as I'm doing this, as these leaves will be covered in natural microbes, the beneficial ones that form our bodies, part of nature. And just doing that is having an effect on my consciousness in a very favourable manner. I'm very grateful to the young hawthorn leaves as I do this work, this walk. So yes, it really is a matter of considering, because Aries is about me, my. What do I want? What am I doing? What do I choose? Because this is a time, particularly on Monday, when we move into having Mercury joining those other 5 in Aries, giving us 6. And at the same time you've got Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. So you've got the bigger picture going on. And we've got all this awareness about, how do I feel about what's going on? What am I going to do about it? So very important things to ask yourself. And something that I find is so important, I've said it so many times, but it doesn't hurt to repeat it, which is, I suggest to you, if you spend a lot of time listening to podcasts or watching people on YouTube, I suggest you give it a bit of a rest. Take a break. What is so wonderful about listening to other people's opinions all the time? How about taking a bit of time to consider your own opinions? How you feel, what you think, what course of action is best for you to take, what nourishes you and uplifts you, what drags you down and negates you. Very important to give some consideration to these matters, and to make sure you're making the choices which are in line with what you feel is right for you. So it's a very strong call I'm making, to pay much more attention to yourself and other people, particularly in this time. And then we have some really young nettles. Now those are going to be a delight to nibble on as well, so I'll just take a little bit of that. There's a bumblebee. disappeared into the ivy that's growing there. But it's good to be aware. And here there's lichen. Some people call it lichen on this branch. And wherever you see this lichen, that means the air is relatively pure, so that's a good sign. So I'm out in nature in a relatively pure air place, and I'm just poking my head out of the path. And there we are, a typical English scene. And we've got a bit of a heat haze going on here. It's not particularly warm because the haze is blocking the rays of the sun. And maybe there's something a little bit allegorical there, in as much as maybe there's a haze from the media that's blocking people's ability to think for themselves. Yeah, I can't emphasize this enough. Well, you work out what you feel is right for you. And then there's this wonderful display of these yellow flowers. There's more than one variety I can see here. And I've no idea what they are, but I know they're a tonic. Just to have the opportunity to enjoy their sunny radiance. And here there's a lovely dandelion, which is just coming into flower, so that's definitely going into the body. Traditionally this time of year, I think they do, is to enjoy the 7 herbs of spring, and to make sure that you chew plants that you recognise and know about, which is what I'm doing. Hawthorn, nettle, dandelion. Nettle for purifying the blood, dandelion for purifying the blood and getting excess liquid out of the body, called a diuretic. Hawthorn for the new life in spring. Something else I want to mention is how important it is to have compassion for those that are making choices that we might not agree with. Some people are choosing to take things that many of us will recognise to be not in their best interest. And when it comes to something like that, it really is a question of the higher self. Each person's higher self is very much in tune with what's going on and what the soul's purpose is. And we need to recognise that some are choosing to leave physical existence at this time, and that can create a lot of sorrow, sadness and pain. And it reminds me of the wonderful shamanic axiom of, how are you looking? Are you looking through the eyes of the eagle or the eye of the worm? When you look through the eye of the worm, and I want to make it really clear, both of these are of equal validity. The worm's eye view is, there's a worldwide cull going on, very disturbing, very upsetting, lots of sorrow, anguish, sadness, rage, anger. And that's something I want to say. Feel your feelings, whatever they are, feel them. Don't censor them, don't block them, don't distract yourself from them, don't try to fix them, don't try to hide from them. Feel your feelings. I have had rage, I've had anger, I've had all sorts coming up in the last weeks. And that is from the perspective of the worm, perceiving things from that perspective of being really in the 3D. And then we take the eagle's perspective and we can look at it from the point of view of the higher self. There is no death, it's all change. And here's an interesting plant, because it's beautiful. Look at that, that's a white dead nettle, so the leaves look just like a nettle, but they've got these fantastic flowers, so there's no prickly bits. So a tiny bit of the white dead nettle as well. So I'm really giving my microbiome a treat. Lots and lots of lovely microbe medicine. And then these flowers, I did see them earlier, but I'm just going to stop here and I'm actually going to take one of these flowers as well. really increasing my microbiological biodiversity. Oh, that's almost a little bit sweet after the bitter tastes I've been enjoying this morning. Yeah. So the eagle's perspective, as well as the worm's perspective, and they're both equally valid. It's so important to feel your feelings, be relentlessly and ruthlessly honest with yourself about what you're feeling. So helpful. And as we know, when we feel our feelings, they change. And this is the very nature of our existence, is change. It's a one unavoidable. And it's very helpful to remember that in times when it might seem, good grief, it just seems to be so dark, so much darkness being promulgated on all the media outlets, both orthodox and alternative. It seems like, but is it ever going to end? And the answer is yes. It changes, everything changes, it always does, it always has, and it always will. That's our only certainty, is change. So let's just be grateful for the changes as and when they come. And I'm just going to leave us with this lovely sight of this blossom. So thanks for coming with me this morning. All the love. Please like, comment, subscribe, activate notifications, and check out the description. Thank you very much indeed.